Welcome back to the Old Fly Guy Network. Yes, Wade, the Old Fly Guy. And this morning I'm in Lakeland, Florida at the Sun and Fun 2025 Air Show. A lot going on this morning as people are getting up and about. A lot of the military aircraft, specifically the vintage military aircraft, getting ready for the air show today. In addition, we plan on visiting with a number of aviators in the vintage aircraft area, taking a look at their aircraft, hearing their stories, and talking to the aviators behind the aircraft. So stick with us today because there's plenty of aircraft to see, plenty of exciting aviators to talk to, and plenty of airspace to get up and take a look at. And once again, thanks for following us here at the Old Fly Guy Network. We're here in the vintage airspace and we're meeting with Larry, and we're going to talk a little bit about his Howard DGA. So Larry, thanks for taking a minute and spending some time and telling us about your plane. First of all, where are you from?
Fort Myers, Florida, originally Miami.
Okay, and you obviously flew up from there.
Yes.
In your aircraft. And how long have you been here, and how long before you leave?
I actually got in on Sunday morning, and the airplane's been here for the last 31 years. I bought it 31 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And it was right from this airport in Lakeland, and I bought it from the old Howard. He bought it for his dad. His dad was nicknamed Tiny, and he had flown him in the military and trained in him. Actually, this was a GH2 ambulance in 1943.
Oh my gosh. So this, you've had it for how many years?
31 years. Bought it in 1994.
Okay. So you've had a lot of time with it. It must be near and dear to your heart.
I'm just the caretaker.
You're just. I've heard several people use that term as the caretaker for this period in time. You know, and someone else may get it in the future, and you'll expect them to do that.
It'll outlive me.
What is the? Do you have a name for your plane?
Actually, it doesn't have a name.
It doesn't have a name.
But
okay.
Interesting enough, I was going to put Sky Pirate on the side of it. My grandfather moved to Miami in the late 1800s, and I took his company name, which is Aero Garage, and he did flight training and biplane rides downtown Miami by the Burdines building. In the early 20s, 27, 28, he did that, and that was his name, Aero Garage, and that was always my goal to kind of go back to the golden age. So.
And it looks like you've accomplished that pretty well. We were talking a little bit before we got started, and you said it's a family affair between your grandfather, your father, the whole family.
My kids grew up in babysits, wiping the belly off the oil, and now my grandson does the same thing. He rides with me. He's 3. He's got more Howard time than most adults, which is kind of cool.
So you must be in aviation a long time yourself then.
Yeah. We had an FBO at San Miami Airport, my dad and I, and he and his brothers had one prior to that. So my granddad and my dad's 2 other brothers all were in the aviation industry.
Are you up here by yourself today, or actually?
The family's in the campground. My son's on his way. My daughter's there with a grandbaby. So
they're in the more comfortable campground, or is that where you're staying as well?
Yeah, you got to keep wife comfortable. Happy wife, happy life.
Exactly. It looks like it's been a beautiful day the last couple of days, but I understand it was a little bit rainy here the first of the week.
I came in on Sunday, and everyone said don't go till Monday, but now it was gorgeous. It was really nice. It's one of the first to land on Sunday morning. So.
And with ownership of this, and you said you've had it for the 31 years, or have you been here 31 years to Sun and Fun?
I've been here ever since. Yeah, my family, we used to bring a tent, put on the second row, and bring 5 to 7 airplanes in.
Oh my God.
So we actually won Grand Champion one year with a 1927 American Eagle 101, which I still have at the house.
Okay. Yeah, you were saying you have, now this isn't the only aircraft, you have several other aircraft as well?
Yeah, I've got a Cub, and I've got a 1931. There goes the twin bonanza.
We'll do a little bit of editing here.
Cool.
That's that twin.
There we go.
There we go.
Got 1927. That's an American Eagle 101, and that one I don't know how many years ago. It's probably been 20.
Okay.
So I've still got that at the house as well. I got to recover that one day. I do dope and fabric and teach that. And, grab whoever I can get. But I'm finishing up a 1931 Curtiss Wright biplane.
Okay.
That was bought new by Union Oil. 102 airplane, and that was built in January of 31 and crashed in December of 31.
So you spend a good bit of time reworking and building. This is your passion.
This is a continued lifetime restoration. There's always something that needs to be done and tended to, so it's a rolling restoration. But I made all new metal on the sides, overhauled the engine, put all new wood in the wings, built all new skins, covered the tail. So
you must have a nice place to work somewhere down there.
I got the wife complains because the hangar's bigger than the house, but
I find that to be the case with most of these folks that, you know, have an airplane, a nice they want to take care of. The hangar becomes the best place to hang out.
Yeah, I know. We used to have hangar parties where we'd roll the door up and we used to sit on the door, and now we just put air chairs and stuff on the door and everyone comes over and hangs out. It's kind of neat. So,
and what was you said that this plane, what was some of the service? What was it used for in its lifetime?
This particular airplane was a GH2 air ambulance. They actually, that's why it's got the big door. So they put 2 litters in it and they had a snap-in medic seat.
Okay.
And that's what they used it for. They also used the same variant as a GH1 as a blind flyer. They put a wall in it and they would fly instruments from the back seat.
Okay.
Not being able to see outside. And then they had another variant, which was the crew. It was like the commander's airplane that they used for their transportation. So.
Okay. Well, it looks like a heck of stout.
Oh yeah, it's a fun airplane.
It looks stout.
So, and this is probably the most stock one you're going to find. Everyone else seems to change the gear and modify this bits and pieces, but it's pretty much original. Does good, you know. So.
Wonderful airplane, and you got front row. Everybody can't see our angle here, but you got a front row seat to all the action in front of us here. We are
literally on the front row every year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I guess if you've come 31, 40 years, you probably
it's an icon,
you earn some of those privileges. But man, what a beautiful day! Some beautiful sights.
And you got to follow us because we're going to be doing. There's a couple things that's going to happen with the Curtiss biplane. The 100-year Curtiss Wright anniversary starts in 1 Kilo 1 in Oklahoma on July 10th, and hopefully the airplane will be there.
Okay, well,
I'm just waiting on my airworthiness certificate because it hadn't had an airworthiness since prior to 1940.
So my action is going to be get up with you and get that information so we can post it in the video here when we pull all this together.
It's neat.
Yeah, we'll get some folks to follow that, and it sounds like we need to catch up again on a future date and see some of this living room hangar space you got going, and have some fun down there. So thanks so much, Larry, for your time.
Again, thank you for what you do, and getting the information out there. And do one other thing for me. Let's put a plug in for the Florida Aero Club. Actually, it's right here in Lakeland. There's a school. It's all done by donations, and the little kids can come out of high school with a private and an A&P. And
what's the name of this again?
It's the Florida Aero Club right here.
Okay, is that right? That hangar I came in, I
Mm-hmm.
saw that, and I wasn't sure what was going on there.
Yeah, that's that
deal.
deal.
I'm gonna task you with making sure I got that information
Absolutely.
when we get this together. So help me do that, and thanks again, and have a great day. And you said you're leaving on...
I'm not going to go till Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm here for the full boat. Then I got to be back for Tuesday night to pre-flight. I fly the Amazon 7.6 for a living.
Oh, God. Okay.
And I restore airplanes for a living, so I'm always going.
You stay pretty busy.
Yeah,
good for you. Good for you. But keep flying, enjoy it, and thanks again for your time. Take care. We're visiting with Darren, and he's got a wonderful Beaver aircraft behind us here that he has spent lots of time on, and he's going to tell us a little bit about that. But first of all, Darren, thanks for spending a little time with us and sharing your story and your passion for aviation.
My pleasure. Thank you for your interest in our project.
So, first of all, where are you from?
We are based, Arcus Aero is based in Bridgeport, Texas.
Okay.
We are a full-service maintenance repair organization and 145 radio repair station. I'm just one of the team. My business partner, Sarah Asiego, is the brain trust in the organization. And she does an incredible amount of work for us and helps make a lot of the engineering and procurement possible for these projects.
Okay, so this was sort of I know this is a very serious restoration that went on behind us here, but this organization you work with, that's part of what they do is restoration?
The mainstay of our business is the Cessna 180, 185 fleet.
Oh, okay.
Tail draggers.
Okay.
We work on a number of aircraft, but we prefer the Skywagons.
Okay, yeah, and there's some beautiful ones out there, I'm sure you've...
Well, we've been very fortunate. We've had 3 award winners in the last 2 years at Oshkosh, and we're hoping to get this aircraft to Oshkosh to add to that trend.
Okay, well, that's wonderful. And you said, where was the home base again?
Bridgeport, Texas, KXBP.
KXBB, and we'll make sure we get that stuck in the...
XBP.
XBP.
Yes.
And that's why you're in charge here, because I'll mess that up. But we'll make sure we get that information posted there too when we get this all together, and some folks will maybe check you out there as well. So what's your background in aviation? What's your story?
My background is, I'm kind of a mutt.
Okay.
Military maintenance, aircraft manufacturing with McBoeing. 135 as a pilot, and airline 121, about 25 years of 121 experience with one of the major carriers.
Okay, so aviation's in your blood pretty deep.
Well, I stumbled into it on my own. I don't come from a family lineage of aviation, but I'm trying to help my sons, and I enjoy it very much.
Oh, that's really cool. So tell us a little bit about this really beautiful. I mean, it's just standing next to it, I feel almost intimidated at how powerful it looks. But I know there's a restoration and
during COVID, Sarah, my business partner, went to Vancouver and quarantined for 2 weeks, and she had put this deal together. It was part of an estate sale. They had Skywagon fuselages in various states of disassembly and the Beaver. And many people wanted the Beaver and many people wanted the Skywagons, but we were the only entity that wanted the whole package. So we bought the whole package, 5 semi-trailer loads full of stuff, came down from Canada. And then we initially went to work on the Skywagons. And this airplane set for about a year and a half. The parts and pieces set for about a year and a half, and then we got to work on this airplane. And my experience with the Beavers go back to about 2017. I love the airplanes, love flying the airplanes, and we wanted to see this one back in service. We wanted to see it be a shining example of what a Beaver, updated modern Beaver, could be. So we set about to that end. Sarah did the research and the engineering for what STCs, what mods, and what we really wanted the airplane to look like when we were done with it. And we're almost happy with it. We're not satisfied yet.
I got to tell you, and then probably everybody can't appreciate it. I looked inside the cockpit and stuff. It looks brand new. I mean, and again, I guess probably a lot of those are, but boy, it looks sharp.
Well, we've tried to update everything. There's no original wiring. All the paint coatings and systems have been updated to a modern standard which will withstand corrosion, wear, and abuse. And the avionics have been updated to all Garmin so that you have a true capable IFR platform, capable of LPV approaches, FISB weather, voice to command tune when you're trying to tune a destination AWAS or ASOS. It's a very nice avionics package. It's the same package we put in our Skywagons. We prefer to put in our Skywagons. And with all of the modern accoutrements that go along with it, plus updating the service bulletin AD status of the entire airframe.
That's a lot.
It takes a team.
How long did it take you to, you said it's sat idle, I'll call it, for about a year and a half, you were saying?
Yes.
And then how long, once you put your shoulder into it, how long did it take to get us to where we are today, essentially?
Well, we had it flyable. We were trying to make Oshkosh last year. We had it flyable, but we were not happy with the completion status of the airplane. So it was flyable July of 24. And then we came back from Oshkosh and got busy with other projects, and we had to circle back to this. And we've been working on it quite a bit this year, and we have some work to do, and it'll look better when you see it at Oshkosh.
Okay, well, I think you're going to go to Oshkosh with it all ready to go. You're hoping to get some recognition on it this year?
That is the plan.
That is the goal. That's the goal. Well, we'll have to have the goal. That sounds really, really wonderful. So how long have you been here for this event this week?
We arrived yesterday. This is my first time at Sun and Fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
So
I like it. Weather's nice.
Yeah, weather has been pretty good. I guess it's getting a little warm in the afternoons, but I stumbled in last night myself and it was pretty nice. And then today it's been good, but we're about high noon here and we're starting to feel the temperature come up. And when are you planning on heading back?
Ideally Sunday morning, but with the weather, I think we're going to be delayed till Monday because of the weather.
Because of weather. Yeah. So got some minor stuff to work on the Beaver to get it to where you want it. So it's got that all the winning characteristics, or all the things that go into it, I guess.
Yes.
At the end of the day, anything else about the aircraft? Like you said, I saw the pictures, and you have a book on it. I know, and I'd like to get that information and drop it in the the chat on this at the end of the day, or our references, if you would allow me, and maybe someone will pick that up as well and take a look at that, because the pictures are, I mean, the fuselage looked in pretty rough shape to start with, and what you have today you've done a great job. So.
Well, we were fortunate that we started with a fairly corrosion-free fuselage
Okay.
when we got started. So that's a good thing. And we tried to take it down to the bare aluminum and make it right. You're welcome to any part of what we call the restoration book you would like, and we also have the spec sheet there. When you see it at Oshkosh, it will have a display banner with all of the updates, STCs by number. When you see it at Oshkosh, a more detailed top level of what we've done to it. And somebody wants to fly it home, they can fly it home.
They fly it home. I'll be interested to see what that costs. That sounds great. Do you have a name for it? I'm kind of curious. A lot of people have names for their aircraft. I'm wondering have you landed on, no pun intended, but have you landed on something for this wonderful plane?
We're still working on that.
Still working on that.
We're still working on that.
Well, that's okay. You'll probably come up with something, and then maybe it'll be that little bit of icing on the cake that pulls it.
It's interesting that you asked that question, because all of our other completions do have names, but we haven't quite settled on a name for the big rig. I just want to call it the big rig. I often call it the big rig.
It's just really awesome. I mean, just what this, because this, again, manufacture date was
57.
57.
And then it had an incident on the ramp in Seattle in the early 80s. And it was disassembled, taken to Vancouver, and put in a warehouse.
And that's where.
And then it sat until we got our hands on it and started working on it. And then there's a great deal of satisfaction when you can take that data plate and you can say, "Oh no, it's back in service, and it's in pretty good shape."
Yeah.
So we like that.
Well, you're doing great work, and I'm going to have to look into some of your other Cessna work too. It sounds, in the avionics sounds wonderful.
Well, Arcus Aero, we have a website. We have a lot of details about our completions and refurbishments. As I said, our mainstay is the Skywagons. We really try to take care of the Skywagon group. We're very passionate about the airplanes. We really like those. We have one of the airplanes, and we love flying them. We love helping the customers out. And we've had 3 award winners at Oshkosh in the last 2 years with the 185s, and we're very proud of those.
Something tells me you're going to have another winner here too. So
we're going to try.
Try.
We're very humble, because we know that so many people work so hard just to get an airplane there to be judged, and then to win at Lakeland or Sun and Fun or Oshkosh is an honor.
Yeah.
We're humbled by it.
I'm fascinated by the passion. I don't care if it's a big or small plane or whatever. The passion around your personal plane is sacred territory.
Yes.
And so it's a lot of fun. It's a great environment up here, great neighborhood, wonderful airplanes. So Darren, thanks for taking a few minutes with us, and the best of luck with your plane and your efforts and your team down there. And I'm not sure. I'm trying to see if I'm going to get to Oshkosh, but if I do, I'm going to come see you and see how that next step.
You need to.
Okay.
You need to.
Now I have a real reason.
Yes.
So thanks so much for your time, and best of luck.
Thank you for your interest, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, and enjoy the rest of your time here, and we'll see you later. Got the pleasure of talking with Jack here in his Grumman Mallard. So, Jack, thanks for taking a minute and talking to us, and what a wonderful airplane. First of all, where'd you come in from?
Thank you, Ed. We had a short flight. The plane is actually based in Stratford, Connecticut, which is a suburb of Bridgeport. But the plane was down for the winter, which is now over, at Fort Pierce. So we just flew in a couple of days ago, Tuesday to be exact, from Fort Pierce, which took us about 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
Short flight. And this Mallard is 1947. The serial number is J18. And I've owned it for about 33 years.
Oh boy. So you've had it for quite some time.
Yeah, we've had a real love affair with this airplane. It's brought us a lot of joy, and it's taken a lot of dollars, but that's the story of flying.
That is the story of flying. It is really, I'm out here, we're over here at the the seaplanes are, and there's no doubt your plane stands out. It just stands out. It's the size, and it's just it looks like it's got history written all over it.
Well, that it does. It's been up to Canada a couple of times, and I enjoy speaking French. My wife says I don't speak it very well, but I think I do, and everybody I talk to says I do well. And the name of the plane is Tiloup du Lac, which in French, in English I should say, means Little Wolf of the Lake. So
Little Wolf of the Lake. I was wondering because I see that's right above us here, and I was wondering where did that come from. So
Yeah.
there's a French connection here
yeah,
in this
well,
whole thing.
the first day I was here, which was Tuesday, we hadn't been on the ground for an hour, and a guy from France comes over and says, "Oh, it's a French airplane," and we had a nice little conversation.
Oh, it sounds great. So, do you have other aircraft? Is this your
No,
baby?
I know I have a couple of other aircraft. I have two Marine Saulniers, which are all, or MS 760s, which are known commonly as Paris jets. Frank Sinatra had one, Travolta had one. The one I have was serial number 2, and it was owned by the Shah of Iran. It was
boy.
his own personal plane. And then I have a second one I bought in England about 17 years ago. I didn't really want the plane, I wanted the parts. The guy had a hangar full of parts, but I had to buy the plane, so now I have two Paris jets. And I just sold, and it broke my heart, I had a Myers 200D, which is a very fast aircraft, but my wife says the BART Air Force is too big, and it's time to get rid of a couple of planes.
Planes. Okay.
So we sold one.
Oh, you sold, but you still get up and you get a lot of airtime. It sounds
A lot
like.
of airtime, do a lot of flying, and I just got my medical renewed about 5 days ago.
Good for you.
So I'm in good shape.
You're
And
in good shape.
the doctor said to me, he's looking at the application, he says, "I think there's a mistake here." He says, "It says you're born August 18th, 1936. He says, "That makes you 88 years old." He says, "Someone must have made a misprint." I said, "I wish it was, but that is correct."
Good for you.
So,
you're
but
still
I'm flying and still file IFR and keep on my radar. I got a rotorcraft rating. I'm a commercial rated pilot and multi-land sea. So, you know, I've been around the world a couple of times.
And when did you start flying?
1954.
1954. Okay.
A lot of people weren't even born then.
I was going to say, well, I wasn't there myself, so you've got me there for a couple of years. But
Okay.
The plane itself, again, you use it for just
pleasure.
Just pleasure.
And it's a 1947. There's very few flying. There's maybe, I'd say 5 piston and maybe 5 or 6 turbine engine planes.
Okay.
Mallards still flying.
Okay.
And that's it.
There's not too many around then.
No,
so.
not the way around. That's why it attracts people like honey to a bee.
Yeah, it does. It just has history written all over it. I did get a chance to get a peek inside, and it looks fairly comfortable in there too. You got some plush chairs up there
those
for
are
your.
all original Mallard seats.
Oh, really?
Every bit of the interior seating is all original Mallard. This originally was flown by an airline in Avalon Bay, which is off the coast of Los Angeles, Avalon.
Okay.
I forget the name. I think it's called Avalon Bay. And I bought it from a guy in Fort Lauderdale that had purchased it from them. I pulled out all the seats. There were 20 seats in the plane.
Oh, really?
It was a commuter plane.
Okay.
And I put in, I found a original Grumman Mallard interior and put it in the plane, and the rest is history.
Oh.
And we just redid the plane this, well, let's see, it's now April. We did November of last year, new interior.
Okay.
And the next job is a repaint job.
Okay, because inside it just looks very comfortable.
It is.
And it has a touch of history just looking inside as
Yeah,
well.
that's because all the seats, everything is all original, basically. If it's not original, we copied it.
And it looks like you had quite a crew with you on the other side of the
yeah,
plane.
I always have-
There was I don't know, I counted 8 or 10 people there, so I'm not sure if that was your full crew or not.
8 people. I get crew, buddies, friends, strangers, anybody wants a ride, we give them a ride if we're going in that direction.
You sound like you're pretty gracious.
I try to be.
And
I try
having
to be.
some fun in the whole thing. Do you get to Sun and Fun pretty regular then?
I've been coming for the last 25 years.
Okay. So you've got some real experience. I notice you have a pretty pristine spot here too.
Well, this is my name is on the spot. The Seabird people, and I'm a member. They make sure I get this space every year.
Okay, well, you deserve it. It looks
Thank
like
you.
you've done a great job, and everybody seems to be having fun, and you seem to, I think you said 88, enjoying aviation to its
bet.
fullest.
What I really like about Sun and Fun the most is networking and seeing all my old friends and talking to new friends. So it's a great week of just aviation fun.
Yeah, and I think the aviation family is just so unique
Yes,
in as
definitely.
far as the way people get along and they treat one another, and everyone I've had a chance to talk to, they all come from different places, but they have a common theme around the aviation platform, and they just seem to treat each other a little nicer.
And yesterday we took off and we did 2 splash-ins. We were photographing it, and then a photo ship pulled up alongside of us, and we did about 20 minutes of them taking pictures in. It all went very well. So I guess the picture will be in one of the periodicals.
I look forward to seeing it.
somewhere.
I look forward to seeing you. This is my first time here, so while you've been here 25,
Yeah.
this is my first chance, and I'm very, very happy that I've had a chance to come, and I feel like I'm building my network by speaking with folks like yourself.
Great.
So
And I got your card, and if you get a chance, you could videotape me or send me a clip. It'd be great.
that we'll do that, Jack. So thanks again for spending some time standing out here in the sun some more. I know you've been working on your plane and keeping it going all day,
Yeah.
but thanks for your time. Great story. Keep up the good work, and I know your team over there really appreciates having you around.
Yeah, my old friend said to me years ago when I said to him, I'm buying this Mallard. They said, well, you got 4 hours of maintenance for 1 hour of flying. I said, well, it is what it is.
It'll keep me busy. Thanks,
For sure.
Jack, so much.
Pleasure.
Thanks for the time. Very
Okay.
good. I've had the pleasure, we're over at the Seaplane Base, and I'm here with George, and he's got a wonderful Cessna on floats. And George, thanks for taking a minute to talk to us and tell us a little bit about your plane. First of all, where are you from? Where are you based out of?
I'm based out of the Tamiami Airport in Miami, Florida. We have it at the hangar over there at Tamiami, kept inside. Kept a wonderful mechanic called Vincent Tirado. who
Shout
restores
out to
our plane.
Vincent.
Yes, absolutely.
So he's taking care of it for you there, helping you with
He
it.
is the best I have ever been on in my whole life, and I've owned that airplane for 45 years, so I know.
So you had the plane for 45 years.
45 years.
And what model is it, and when was it manufactured?
It's a Cessna 206, a U206F, and it's got whipline floats. It's a 73, and the floats are 78. I had the airplane when I bought it used in 1979, and then I bought the floats new in 1979.
Okay, and so you fly it yourself pretty regular then?
I
or-
fly it myself. Nowadays, I don't have a medical license anymore, so I have to fly with a friend that has a medical license.
Okay.
And, he gains from experience, and I enjoy it.
Oh, you got him flying the Cadillac here, so I doubt that he that minds him much to be flying with you, and you're enjoying the ride as well.
There's one thing when you fly a seaplane and you go down low over the water. If you're doing that in a land plane, people will say, look at that crazy guy going around there. If you go in a seaplane, they'll say, what a magnificent looking seaplane. Look at that.
Exactly. It's all about the equipment you're driving versus if it makes sense or not. So it's wonderful. The other thing I noticed you were just pointing out as we got started here, that this plane was it last year got best seaplane?
At Sun and Fun 2024.
Oh my God.
And it's being judged right now, and at noon we'll get the results. Maybe I get another trophy this year.
Oh, well, I know. Yeah, it's just wonderful. It's such a pretty plane. What's your background in aviation? You've been flying some time. Where did all that start?
I'm a registered professional engineer,
Ah,
a Georgia Tech graduate. To me, numbers, navigation, physics is very easy. And all my life I wanted to be a pilot. A friend of mine years ago said, hey, why don't we become pilots? And after a couple of back and forth, in 3 months we had the license.
okay.
After that was one license after another, after another, after another. The first airplane we bought was a Cessna 150 for $3,300. We flew everywhere with it, and then 2 years later we sold it for $3,000. So we made our okay.
You're good investment.
Yes.
And so how long ago did all that start then, the aviation?
About 1973 I got my
Okay,
license.
okay. So you've been at it for quite some time.
Yes.
That's really, really cool. We're going to get a little background noise because we're here at the Sun and Fun, and so some of the big birds are taking off. But do you have any, there we go, here we go. Take it straight up. So that's one of the beauties of being here at the air show. We get real live, the real deal going on. So
Sounds of freedom.
That's the sound of freedom. Thank you very much. That's exactly what it is. That's super. So do you have any other aircraft, or now you told me about the 150, and that's some time ago, and this is your primary ride?
This is the only one I have right now. We used to have Aero Commanders, a Seneca, a 172, and right now this is the only one. This is my baby right here.
Oh, well, it's really, really cool, and we got another flyby coming here, so. We got all kinds of stuff. We're right off the taxiway here, and there's plenty going on. So how many years have you been coming to Sun and Fun?
Many years.
I see a lot of emblems there.
Yes, and this is a 30-year pin from AOPA.
Okay.
And you get one of these little links every time you fly in your own airplane into Sun and Fun.
Okay.
I came the first time that it opened in the 70s, and
So you were here in the 70s the first time?
I was here for the first opening in the 70s, and then after a few interruptions, I've been coming almost every year since.
Okay. It's a wonderful plane. I just don't even, I can't imagine what it'd be like to be able to go out and take this up and do that 50 foot over the water you talk about.
Yes. The only thing I miss here is the splash-ins. We are not having splash-ins for a few years now.
Okay.
It started at Lake Parker, then it went to Cypress Gardens, then it went to Fantasy of Flight, and now we're then Tavares, and now we're looking for a venue.
Okay. That's really cool. So you do some splash. You said you're looking for venues for the doing more of the splash. I would think there's a lot of seaplanes here in Florida.
Florida has the largest population of seaplane pilots in the whole United States,
Okay.
more than Alaska.
Okay,
That's
it almost
incredible.
makes sense. Yeah, that's really great.
And Central Florida has so many lakes. I don't know if Wisconsin has more, but you wouldn't want to miss flying here in Florida.
I also notice you're a volunteer here, so you've not only you're flying in, your plane's winning awards, but you're on the volunteer side too.
Yep. I volunteer over the handicap services, and I've been here all week. Tonight I'm going to be driving one of the golf carts, looking for people that need a ride somewhere.
Okay. By tonight, I might be one of those people that needs a ride. So I'm going to be looking for you to pick me up if I get in need. You got some sun going there too.
Sun, yeah, all over. I got some sun got lotion.
You look like you got your sun. There's plenty of it out here. I do thank you for taking some time and sharing your passion with aviation, your commitment to sun and fun, your commitment to this wonderful plane behind us. And I know this is only my first year, so while you have many, this is my first. I hope to come back many more. And I'm looking forward to hearing how your the judging goes this afternoon. And I'll also have to stop by later this evening or tomorrow for sure. And I want to follow up and hear how that went.
By all means, by all means.
Thanks so much, George, for your time. Great plane, great conversation, and keep the aviating going.
Enjoyed it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're starting off today in the seaplane area of Sun and Fun 2025. And we're starting off with this beautiful Cessna seaplane here of Steve Radcliffe. Steve, thanks for spending some time with us this morning.
Yeah, you're quite welcome.
So, Steve, let's start off again. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm based in Conroe, Texas.
Okay, so you're in Conroe, Texas, and you flew up and...
Flew up, yes. Came up last Saturday, I guess, and been camping out the whole time.
Camping out the whole time. So when are you leaving?
Probably tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what's it take to fly up here and back in this plane?
Time-wise, around 5.5 hours.
5.5 hours.
Yeah. So we cruise at about 125 knots indicated airspeed, 130 knots true airspeed.
Okay.
And I can go into talking about the airplane if you want.
Yeah. So what do we have here?
So this was a project aircraft my son and I bought in Alaska and had it shipped down to Texas, and we spent about 3 years putting it together and doing all of the modifications that we wanted on it. But it's a 79 A185F Skywagon, and it was on wheels up until about 2 years ago, and I put it on amphibs 2 years ago in Alaska, and we upgraded the engine. It's got an IO 550 in it, and wing extensions on it, VGs. That's about all the major mods. You know, of course, we put a new windshield, new interior. You know, it just went completely through it, ground up restoration.
Yeah, it looks, from where I can see on the ground here, everything looks pretty new on the inside. So you said you redid the entire interior?
Everything was redone, yeah.
Okay, and I missed it because some of that background noise. How long have you had it?
I've had it since 2008, and then we got it flying in about 2011.
So about 3 years of cleaning it up, getting it the way you want it?
Yeah, getting the paint and all that stuff, yeah.
And so what do you do with it mostly? Just
recreational,
recreation?
Strictly recreational. I made, this plane's probably made 5 trips to Alaska, all over the Arctic and Southeast Alaska, Anchorage area. We use it to go hunting, fishing, and just traveling.
Just a fun machine.
Yeah, I've had 185s most of my life since about 1981.
Okay.
And that's what I like.
You like? Well, it's a really pretty plane.
Thanks.
On top of probably pretty effective. You're going up to Alaska back and forth, and you say Antarctic as well?
In the Arctic. In the
Arctic.
Arctic. Arctic up there. Yeah, the Arctic Circle. I worked up there since 1978. Kind of know the area.
Okay.
Got a son and a daughter that live up there, and grandkids.
So it's a good reason to take it up there. I saw some of your crew. How many folks you got with you visiting or coming?
Well, my daughter and her family from Alaska came down, so 3 grandsons, and then my wife and my sister came in yesterday, so they're just kind of in and out.
Okay.
And then I have friends that come too.
How long have you been coming to Sun and Fun?
Off and on, 20-some years.
Okay. How about you been up to Oshkosh as well then?
Been to Oshkosh, yeah. I like this better myself.
It's a little smaller?
Smaller, more manageable. Good quality stuff to see.
Yeah, I noticed that everybody seems to be really friendly and
Oh,
easy
yeah.
to get along with
Yeah,
throughout the.
This venue that they've set up here for pilots at the seaplane place is really nice. You know, you got restaurants or food and showers, everything you need.
All the stuff
Yeah.
all the stuff you need.
That's right.
Are you primarily anybody else fly this besides you? Or?
Well, my son does when he comes down from Alaska, or when we go up there. You know, and we actually have another Skywagon up there. It's on wheels and skis, and then in the summer he'll put it on floats for like a month or two.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we're supposed to meet up there in June and do some flying in Southeast Alaska.
Okay. So it sounds like you got a flying family. Your son's
Oh,
in
yeah.
aviation, and any other kids
My
or
daughter,
grandchildren?
my daughter flies. My grandsons are coming along. They've had some instruction from their dads. And then my son-in-law flies for Alaska Airlines.
Okay.
He's got a 185 also. So yeah, we're plugged into aviation.
It sounds like you've got the equipment to go a lot of different places and really
Yeah, we do.
take advantage of it.
And that's what's good about the 185. You can put it on wheels, skis, floats. Not too many airplanes you can do that with, and load everything you want in it up to gross weight and still go somewhere.
Yeah, it's a absolute workhorse.
Yeah.
I bet it gets out of the water really nice
It
as
does.
well.
Love the Aeroset floats, premium. Yeah.
Well, that's really wonderful. It's a neat. I love the paint job on it. I just love everything you have going with
Well,
this
thank
thing.
you,
It's
yeah.
a really pretty plane, and I'm sure you draw a lot of attention.
It does.
Didn't take me any time as I came across here to spot it.
It gets a lot of attention, and I'm happy to let people look at it. A lot of people are in the middle of a project, you know, so they like to see what I've done, what works, what doesn't work for them, you know. But it's set up right.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine you'll be taking this down here and this and many other air shows.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Well, Steve, thanks for
You're welcome.
sharing a little bit of the story of your. And just you sounds like you've been flying a long time as well.
Yeah, I learned to fly in the military in
Okay.
77, I believe. So I've been flying off and on since then. I've owned a Skywagon pretty much the whole time since about 81.
Okay.
So
So you
I've
got
had-
your ticket, and then shortly thereafter, you've had
Yeah.
aircraft
Yeah.
under your belt.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's wonderful. Long, and you probably really enjoy it. I see.
I do,
I see
yeah.
a smile on your face when
Ab-
you're looking at this plane. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's got my DNA in it. That's
Yeah,
right.
That's great. Well, Steve, thanks so much
You're
for
welcome.
spending a few minutes and sharing this and a wonderful, beautiful day here and a beautiful aircraft. So thanks
Thank you.
again. Best of luck. Enjoy your flight back, and maybe we'll see you again at one of the other things.
Great deal. Thanks, Wade.
Thank you very much. I'm having the chance here now to talk with Harvey, who's going to tell us a little bit about his beautiful Cessna seaplane here. So Harvey, first of all, where are you from?
I'm from Jay, Maine and Eustis, Maine.
Two places.
Two places. We have a set of fishing camps in Eustis, Maine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you must use this like for real duty when you
Oh
get
yeah.
back up there.
Yeah,
So-
this is a workhorse for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're from Maine.
From
and
Maine.
You flew down. How long you been here?
Uh,
At the
I
show
get to the show here Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
Yeah.
And you've been. And when you going back?
Probably leave Sunday morning tomorrow.
Sunday
Yeah,
morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to fly back up? You flying back up to Maine then?
No, I'm going to stop in Crescent City, Florida here, but it's about 10 hours to Maine on floats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you this is a kind of a work and transportation plane as well as
This
just
is
entertainment.
Working transportation.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So tell me, let's talk a little bit about the plane. Beautiful plane, first
Yeah.
of all. I hope the camera does it justice.
Yeah.
But beautiful seaplane here, and it's a Cessna 185. But tell us a little bit about the history and how long you've had it.
Well, I've had this aircraft here for 40 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It got wrecked about 25 years ago in Labrador. A friend of mine was using it, and it had an engine failure. But my son's AP and A&I, so he rebuilt the airplane. And at that time, the cost to rebuild it was about the same as to buy a used one. But when we rebuilt it, we pretty well had a new airplane. So
Okay.
and it's been going great ever since.
Okay, so 40 years.
40
Wow.
years this airplane.
That is
Yeah.
a long time. I talked to a number of people, and they're maybe 5 and 10 and
Yeah.
whatever. But 40 years. And when was the manufacture date on this? It wasn't probably too old when you got it.
It was in 1973.
Okay, God,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful
yeah.
for being that old.
Yeah, well, it's been completely restored. Everything in it is brand new, and the PK floats are brand new this year, and the amphibs are a big plus in this part of the country for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you have other aircraft as well up at you say you have a fish camp up there
I've got a fish camp, and we've got a Super Cub and a Cessna 180 also.
on floats?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're doing quite a bit of work on the water.
Well, quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So what else do you use this for literally taking people out and getting them on the water, or what
Well,
are some of the things you do
we
with it?
support the camp with it, and take people here and there, and just general keeping busy.
Yeah. Are you here by yourself this time?
I am. My wife stayed home this trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many years have you been to Sun and Fun? Is this a regular stop for you?
Yeah,
with this plane?
I think this makes around 22 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you get up to Oshkosh as well? Or
Never
this-
been to Oshkosh. That's a busy time of the year, and I just can't get away. So,
Yeah, that's the working side of
Yeah,
of
that's
what
the
you're
working
doing.
side,
You're probably just coming out of winter up there at this point.
we're still in winter. It snowed up there yesterday.
Okay. So,
crazy.
So I have a couple of brothers and a son that live up in the New Hampshire area,
Yeah.
and they got some snow just last weekend
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we're a little spoiled down here, and from where I'm at in Virginia, we've sort of cleared the snow.
Yeah,
path
for sure.
at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
So anything else that's really, again, the plane you've had it for 40 years, clearly well taken care of.
Yeah,
And
I
you've
mean-
had a lot of good stuff going on with it. Anybody else fly it besides yourself?
My son. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And you must have been aviating for quite some time then yourself if you've had this for 40 years. I'm guessing. How
Yeah.
did all that start?
I
Up
started
in-
real young.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also on floats right off the bat there
Yeah.
up in.
Actually, I started out on floats.
Okay.
Yeah. Personally, I think floats is the safest way to fly. I mean,
As long as you have the gear up,
as long as you have the gear up.
Right.
But I mean, on straight floats, we've got a little grass airport there that we keep some planes on in the wintertime. We come in the fall and land these float planes, straight floats, right on the grass and tow
I've
them off.
seen that
Oh yeah,
before.
and it's no problem. So that's why I believe seaplane flying is by far the safest way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's it. I've seen that land on grass, and I'm kind of wondering what that deceleration feels like.
Well, the first time was a little puckering, I got to say that, but it's not bad.
Not bad after.
Just hold the stick all the way back and.
I'm just thinking about that. I'm always thinking about that kind
Yeah,
of
it's
jolt
not
and
that bad. Just
not-
the first time is a little apprehensive, probably.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you've had some fun here in a
I've
couple
had
of
a
days.
little.
You probably, any of these other seaplane pilots. I saw a fellow just come over to you that sounded like he might know.
Well, this guy that just came over is from Maine, and I never met him before, but he saw the PK float sign on the front, and he knows the people that manufacture these floats. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So-
And is that the name I see on your hat there? What's it say? What's the name of the lodge?
Labrador Outdoors. That's one of my Arctic char fishing camps in Labrador.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I've got to get some of this information before we go.
Okay,
Come
yeah.
up and see you sometime. It
Right.
sounds like a
Yeah.
great place to spend a few days in the summer.
For sure.
So thanks so much for taking a few moments and
Okay.
sharing with everyone here
Yeah.
your aircraft, a little bit about your journey, your background,
Yeah.
and just the enjoyment of having kind of a little bit of work and a little bit of play. So this is probably the last bit of play you're going to get here pretty quick.
Well, when I wake up in the morning and jump into this thing, it's not like I'm going to work. So a work day is kind of a fun day for me.
Oh, perfectly said.
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for anything
Yeah.
else, Harry. That's the way to get everybody motivated, and is
Yeah.
to think about it that way.
Well, if you don't like your job, find a job you like, so you don't have to call it work anymore.
Okay, I like that. You've inspired me for the day. I'm going to try to do some of the same.
Very
So,
good.
Thanks so much for taking a few minutes.
Okay.
And I look forward to bumping into you again.
Very good.
You never know.
You never know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you again for spending time with us at Sun and Fun 2025 and visiting with aviators and hearing the stories behind their aircraft. This is the second of 2 conversations we had at Sun and Fun 2025, and I hope you did not miss the first episode. As always, avoid the turbulence, look for the blue skies, and we look forward to having you back on the next Old Fly Guy conversation.